Fiorentini takes a closer look at the debate over health care in the United States. And joining us now is Francesca, journalist and comedian. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You really nailed the deep effects of the medication.
Getting kissed by a dog.
Sitting in a bathtub like that weird Cialis commercial.
So, right, smelling of flowers. Always lots of flowers.
You did get to some you achieved something there. How did you find some?
You know, we had bagels, so he was fine and happy. This actually was pre-heart attack.
Oh, it was.
But he was good. You know, listen, I think that posing this question to all Americans in a little bit of a different way and having somewhat of a lighthearted approach, I think there are so many very, very serious and grave issues and people dealing with healthcare every single day. We know those stories, we've heard those stories. But those folks also they can have a laugh. They can see that this absurd healthcare system that isn't working for them, where they're going through, you know, a labyrinth of bills and different providers at some point it's a little funny, it's a little ridiculous. And I think Senator Sanders really understood that. And you know, what he was saying about people being in your network or not in your network, and the fact that under Medicare for All, everyone would be in everyone's network. We found that firsthand. We spoke with a mother here in New York. And now New York, in comparison to the other states we visited, has great health insurance. Less than 5%. Compare that to Texas, where it's like millions of folks don't have health insurance. But even here, we met a mom who has a 3-year-old who has an autoimmune disease. They were 15 months in and out of hospitals, went to a hospital where they were like, oh yeah, we take your insurance, but this doctor doesn't. So she quit her job to fully take care of her son and navigating this entire bureaucratic system. So say what you will about simpler. And someone like this mother in a state like New York who has health insurance said to me, no, I believe in a statewide Medicare for All. There's actually a bill called the New York Health Act. I believe in that because we need a massive simplification. There's no reason that it is this complicated to get well in this country.
Rev, I think in principle, a lot of
Medicare for All plan, I think what Senator Sanders would say is that this doctor isn't going away. It's simply the middleman that's going away, which from the folks we spoke with in Texas, in Utah, is a huge breath of fresh air, is still in your network. If I'm with them, well, we went to Utah, which more interestingly they passed a ballot measure in 2018 along with 2 other states to basically say, whatever the GOP legislators want, like whatever they've been trying to hold up, we want Medicaid expansion. We need it. We will have nearly 200,000 people covered under Medicaid expansion. So they passed a ballot measure and it passed with flying colors. Worked hard to get it done. And the legislators still refuse to pass it, to implement it.
We actually have a clip.
Good to meet you.
Can't wait to see the full special. Still ahead on Morning Joe.
Francesca joins us now. You're so brave to get up on a horse on camera.
It was not scary at all. So much practice. Oh, wow. Yeah, that... You study healthcare all the time. That was actually particularly
probably terrifying.
Scary.
Yes, of course, I can imagine. I can imagine. When you were out there talking to voters, what surprised you most?
I think specifically, you know, we're talking about Democrats, that yes, this polls really heavily. It's one of their top issues when it comes to how they're going to be voting in 2020. But I spoke with Republicans. I spoke with Trump voter. Okay, I can't talk to you now, or I am going to talk to you now, or what do you think about what the president is doing? No, I sat with them and I said, tell me about healthcare. And they said, getting old was the best thing that ever happened to them. Turning 65 was like winning the lottery, and that's what's happening. Who actually didn't know that Medicare was even a thing. They didn't know it was possible. And they didn't learn until they had actually someone, I believe in a hospital, who was a healthcare advocate or a benefits advisor, told them about it. So Americans on this such a critical issue are actually in the dark when it comes to how to use it and how not to go bankrupt when they use it.
So the real question is...
Absolutely. Hey, let's just be out with it. I absolutely think, especially after seeing folks in 3 different states all across this country and seeing the ways that the ACA has done a great job. Let's move beyond that. And you come to this moment when you realize that small fixes to the ACA are not actually feasible so long as the profit motive is still there. Why? Because that means someone is going to be making a buck, someone's going to be passing the buck, and that buck always comes. We're using their life savings, their hard-earned life savings, just to survive cancer, just to survive a fall off a horse, as I did talk to a cowboy in Texas, right, who went bankrupt. So that's the thing, is actually maybe it's time to move into, you know, the 2020.
Alexa, does that square with what you hear when you talk to voters?
Francesca, is that they feel very confused about Medicare for All. And I think that's because they see it thrown around on a debate stage, or they don't really hear about it a lot. If they're watching local news in smaller markets, you're not going to hear about Medicare for All. And even when you do, these voters are left with a lot of questions. How are we going to pay